Hah? Rene angkot awarai gak gelem Rene yo.
I like how this one feels.
It's actually, yeah, the ranking haze is the second spell goes into his face and he just can't last it properly. He just misses.
Yeah, it could have made it more confusing for you. Imagine if every skill was just called drunken
this, drunken that,
drunken split, drunken clap,
drunken lizard.
It's Ghostic, so Ghostic's going for the typical phase moves, but after that, does Ghostic go for the drums? Is this kind of like, because a lot of mids pick up drums, and I know Nature's used to, it seems to have fallen off in favorability.
What? I think Orchid is very valuable for them.
He's dead. Maledict power, the metamorphosis comes out. You know what the catch there was? Lil left the lane.
Exactly. As soon as he leaves, he was wrapping around doing something. He's eyeing Ghostic, he's trying to pressure happen mid, however, the positioning of Ghostic is just so passive right now, and supporting base. Trees are gonna scout the
He knew about Doom. Yeah, he had his board down.
That's it. It's the board plus the fact that...
General, again! That's the Maledict, he's got salve.
And sticks, he should.
Yeah, he'll be fine. You know, you just basically spend anything you brought for regen-wise straight away, and that was the same metamorphosis.
They should probably remain Lil top. Lil should probably remain top. Yeah, your mid is suffering hard, that you shouldn't be losing 2 lanes. Never mind, LeBron is 14 mid.
Oh, Ghostic, yeah. And those coming
This makes a lot of sense, right? Because Lil alone, he couldn't do anything. However, with LeBron rotating, I think this is a good call, because their morphling is suffering already. This lane is something you should sack. There's no way... At one point you have to realize that one morph is not going to help.
What didn't last it to the 35 of Pioneer? Look at this wrap. That's just straight away.
The thing is, you can't do anything about it.
They're doing something elsewhere.
There we go. So they make 2 quick kills as soon as they start rotating with these supports together. And that's what you should usually do. You have to sack the hard carry to make enough space for your heroes that are going to carry you through the mid game. Because hard carry, listen, he's not going to do a lot mid game. He's coming back late game. And through the mid game, you need someone that's going to be a powerhouse. You need someone that's going to make space for him. That's when Crystallize is actually going to farm and recover on the CS. So it makes a lot of sense that they are rotating around.
It is true. You know, we see it quite often throughout the CIS qualifiers. Just allow one lane to be burned, reinforce the others, push your advantage, don't try and recover your loss.
And when that lane is someone like, let's say, a Morph or an AM, which hasn't really seen much play lately, but those heroes that are really strong, super late game,
I'll Crystallize. I mean, it'll start with Darcy Avalanche, he will get away. But
it's alright for him. He has Styx and the Ring of Health, so it's much harder for them to completely zone around right now.
True, and Yoku's actually going to go top because it looks like it's a problem. The split does come out, and Navi is a little bit of trouble. The cast bouncing in between time, and Navi keeps moving more straight into LeBron. This wasn't the plan. Yoku coming across to cover him, but can he do enough? The telekinesis split from Navi will finally dive, and LeBron should drop in return. The reflector's loading down the Sprout there. Goes to going control now. He will be burned out, and Yoku still chasing on LeBron. In the meantime, they're going to hit Miposhka as well as they start diving under the tower. The cast bouncing, he might still live. No, they can't get the Infernal Blade off in time. Miposhka, he'll inevitably die, but he does, in the meantime, buy the time, and now Naif comes straight back. Now Morphs is level 3. They need to back away from this. General can't stand and fight. Although the trees are trying to block and they can't get across quick enough, but General should be able to just about walk this off.
With the amount of sticks that he had and the fact that they're pretty fat here, they could have dealt some damage to him, maybe make him back off a bit. However, they didn't want to risk it as Furion is coming back alive.
That's true.
Overall, a big win for Fury again. A really great rotation, and Furion kind of ported right into the Brew Split there. So first he took a lot of damage from the Brew Split.
Yeah.
And then Panda came back in his normal form and clapped him all the way to his death. So, yeah. A couple of mistakes on the side of Empire.
And this is the thing, in the meantime, they know FM is not going to come to reinforce his fights because he has to keep pressuring Crystallize. As soon as you leave this Morphling alone, he will catch up.
Yeah, definitely. And why leave this lane though with FF? We're doing fine. There's no reason to give us more anything this early into the game. So, like, I mean, you can't zone out Crystallize anymore. As soon as he got the Ring of Health, he just goes edgy. As you can see, like, he has 30 HP, but he's regioning up with plus 16.
Yeah, you need some sort of snipe out, like Nature's Prophet to appear.
Yeah, definitely. You need some burst from him. Or something to port, like you said, Fury on port behind once he uses the waveform. Maybe that would work.
And we're seeing the top lane. It seems like it's going better for Terrorblade, but it's not going as well as most people are realizing. Their net worth, him and Morphling about even. Because he's got this issue where if Metamorphosis is down, General completely dominates the lane.
On the bottom lane, Lil is doing so well. He already has Medallion and Doom. We might see a dead Pengo or even a dead Pengo.
Yeah, it actually goes down to the time. He's working a lot on Television for something to chase him in the tree line. Crystallize taking a crap ton of damage there, but they will stay alive. LeBron, he dies, but so left end. And Crystallize almost being sniped out by the Nature's Prophet ult.
Well, it kind of ended all right, I suppose, for Empire. Yeah, they did lose Tiny. At least they got LeBron, but LeBron is not giving too much right now. He's level 4, waiting for that Dome to level up to 6, so him dying is actually a big deal. It's an alright thing to do when you're a position 5 unit sometimes. You just secure that kill with the lift, right? Maybe step a bit.
Then he's trying to push down the tier 1 right now, but it's annoying to actually try and stop Ghostic from denying this. Ghostic obviously doesn't want to deny it straight away. He wants to buy as much time with that mid tower as he can.
You don't want to lose it. The game, but it sounds like I think he's gonna have to realize that he has to back off. He's gonna stick around.
I don't think he can even deny it now. He's not got enough HP to really even contend with Dendi. He'll have to TP away.
Back and then TP in perhaps.
General's being pinged top. Poshka's here. Navi, the Deathwall going down. General uses this. I mean, Poshka does force it, but he will have to give his life for this. The Deathwall does get stolen. But Poshka is dead, and they will push on the tier 1 top.
Well, at least he baked that. Blue split, but he's gonna lose the tier 1, so it's not very good.
It's just his death is okay. But they are pushing on the other side, yeah. I mean, Ghostic just looking to trade. This is the Nature's Prophet effect. You don't really look for these fights through the mid game. You look for the split push opportunities.
Yeah, because you just have so much pushing power. It's pretty good for you. And taking away the jungle from Morph, taking away bottom lane from Morph is
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
And the other thing is he has got the drums down Nature's. I wonder where he goes next here. Is it a Shadow Blade picked up? Because Tiny's probably going to do that. And speaking of that, Tiny, once again, harassment on the Crystallize here. But it's okay. Crystallize is Tiny too. So
he could go for Shadow Blades here. He could get the Medallion too. They don't really have one. That would open up Rush for them. He could also go for probably not what's going to happen right now. Getting Shadow Blade is most likely, as you said.
I mean, what I was going to say as well is that this interesting this type of game is that Crystallize has good heroes to morph into to catch up in terms of farm.
Definitely.
Like you got the Nature's Prophet, the Tiny. I mean, I think the other big issue the Empire has is they picked the Terrorblade. They didn't get rid of this counter pick because the Morphling is fantastic against Terrorblade.
Yes, definitely. You can even burst him down from distance without worrying of his ultimates.
And well, look at the bursting people down. Navi supports. They are smoked up, but it's the same for Empire. So Empire targeting out General. Maybe they'll find him. At the same time, Navis are looking for this Tiny, and FN is just busy farming up the moment. He might get caught.
Yeah, these two offlaners are basically the most farmed right now.
Crystallize, he sees FN, they go for the Doom, they'll finally get it off. The Wave Walk just to keep silent him, and the Deathwall comes out. They want to make it a quick kill, and it will be.
Good rotation from General as well. He bailed on top. So yeah, they did commit 5 people, but General would have died top 100% if they bring anywhere close. So both teams realizing who their prime targets are at the moment. However, Navi just executing a little bit better than Empire.
Navi would actually catch
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Well, General's one of those offlanes, right? Like
Radiant structure
in the offlanes is very good at finding these intuitive kills. General's this guy with spidey senses, right? He knows when a gank is coming.
After playing so many games, you just...
Speaking of General, the split, Naive, a little bit of trouble. Stun home, plays the outlaws as well. Tells flip, no time for a summon. Yoku, he stands ground in the meantime. He needs to swashbuckle away and run. He will have to leave Ghostic behind. That is a dead and sorry Nature's Prophet. So they lose 2, and they don't even get the tier 1 top.
Yeah, it just feels that Navi is just completely outmaneuvering them right now.
Radiant's middle tower
that's happening. Far get as much
He's backed up by Dendi as well, so it's not like you can easily pressure this Morphling. But Morphling just wants to dodge out, right?
They don't really have a lot of cash from him right now, so I don't think he's afraid too much of dying until there's Orchids on Furion that we talked about.
I think it's the right choice here. They need some sort of lockdown for this Morphling.
It's
the
really
Brew, the Doom, there's so many targets.
Rubik, Doom, Panda, Morphling even more so. Orchid is just great on Furion. However, generally, they've trouble the spot, and the Maldiv comes out, the Deadpool thrown out of hesitation. General will submit. Talking about spider senses, you can't really spider sense your way out of Ghostic porting on top of you, though, can you? So
yeah,
that's kind of a problem.
I mean, he senses them coming. He can't sense where the wolf. You know, we gotta give the guy right.
And like Poti supports did really well on the lanes. However, they've been farming in a bit too aggressive positions, right? So they farm around the runes on the low ground, and that's generally where you want to be, but you have to be on the high ground every now and then to check for incoming ganks.
And speaking of ganks, FN is shadow bladed up and walking in, but Navi, they know the sentry down in squad line against the top and the crystallized. He won't be able to finish off FN. He'll die. The Stolen Avalanche helping to secure that kill as General gets the last hit. And I mean,
it's really
is that the Spidey instincts we were looking for?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I think LeBron was even putting that ward there to try and see if there's a high ground ward on the cliff.
Sure.
But yeah, they also have a ward very deep in the jungle, so they might have seen.
Yeah, I think it was over here that they saw it because he was farming his camp before he came.
Exactly. So they most likely saw him.
But this is fantastic for them because although it's just one kill and it's just this tiny one, he's the highest net weapons team, and two, this is prime tiny time, right? This is where your combo will kill most of the enemies.
Yeah, they just stopped him at his prime time completely. They shut him down twice, while General used his ultimate, I think, 3 times now, and all 3 of those ultimates resulted in at least 1 kill. Tiny has really had no luck with his.
Well, this is pretty rough. You see that wall placement. Yeah, 7 seconds difference. Empire beat them to it, and now FN is walking in. But what's his target here? There's no easy quick melt. All his heroes considerably tanky. They do at least get the tower, and now FN just has to back off.
He's just top.
And those H's. He gets caught top by Dendi. Dendi being taken under by Yoku, but Yoku needs to back off here. Dendi hits pretty hard still, and now nice telekinesis interruption to make sure Naive cannot do anything. LeBron with a toss back. Naive just has to TP away.
And that's a meta used as well.
Oh, and actually stole the reflection just before he left. And now FN in mid. They're on the nil. There's the stun coming through the Maldiv, but look at General jump straight in and interrupts with Poppy. The Deadpool not getting too much done, but we'll get rid of Lil. But not before he throws out the Doom. In the meantime, Poppy being chased down by Crystallize. Crystallize cannot finish the job. He has to back off here. They're looking towards this doomed up Tiny, but can they finish it quick enough? Brew, his ult is about to run out. They need to do a lot more damage, especially as Pangal is on his way. In general, he needs to just blink out of here before he runs into problems. He will and TP in the tree line. Meanwhile, Navi, they get everyone else out. It's Crystallized able to just dodge out the Sprout issue.
That's a small victory, I think. For FN, you were in Sentry range, sadly, so and instantly strength morph. Anyway, a little win for Empire, I think, after a series of rough events happening for them this game. Basically, they did bait out the Doom on Tiny, and Split was used too, so maybe they can try and make some moves now, maybe some smoke, maybe any sort of reaction to all the aggression that's been happening on their side of the map.
It's kind of very hard though, because you look at the Raiden jungle, you look at Navi's jungle, and I mean, we just said about FN, he couldn't find the gank because they see him. They've got 4 sentries down in this jungle. You call it paranoid, call it what you want, but it's working.
They are completely protecting their carry with these sentries. It's basically what you should do against Shadow Blades. Already heroes will benefit from sneaking up into your jungle and trying to get those pick-offs within this.
The Navi, the lead it's actually peaked down a little bit there. I think it's about 2k exchange in the last like 2-3 minutes, but they are sitting still. Thinking the Morphling is incredibly threatening late game. You know what it's 2 FN. Doesn't Tiny do anything though. He's interrupted. The Steel actually got his hands onto the tree. The LeBron, time to farm, right?
And that's just
old man with a stick.
It's just a walking stick for him. Completely useless. Pretty much useless spell. Anyway, this Doom though, I have a feeling there's a huge difference in the in the power of Doom and the power of Pangolier. Like, Pangolier hasn't been doing a lot, right? He just picked this up.
Speaking good, he walks straight and goes stick. Nice long way, wants to be the outlet. Does come out on the Denny, but Denny stands his ground, and now looks like FN's in a lot of trouble. He's going to get shredded through here. There will be a TP out from Ghosty before they can interrupt, though.
The power of Doom walks in, at least uses the Force Stomp and the Infernal Blade, cuts that gank on Dandy into half.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
It could have been much worse, though, because Ghosty was about to get caught out for that.
Yeah, definitely. He just forced it out on the sides. While Yoku, what exactly is this Pango bringing to the table?
Radiant's top
nothing.
tower
So far, at least. He's pressured Morph a bit.
I don't think I've seen him ult once so far.
Yeah, well, he didn't. I don't think I've seen that ulti either, and he's level 10. Like, the hero is super strong in teamfights, but every game recently that I watched feels so lackluster. He just doesn't do enough compared to some Tusk or Doom. Very straightforward heroes with very straightforward spells that can do a lot.
It's also like, you look at the other members of their team. I mean, Terrorblade just wants to farm up, and maybe he wants a team fight. Nature's Prophet just wants to split push. There isn't really this composition that want to go 5-manning. And when you look at the other side of Navi, they just want to leave Morphling farming while Dendi pushes lanes and the others gank.
My problem is, the problem that I see with Empire's draft is that they have this Shadow Blade, and that's the only hero right now that can follow up with Ghostic's aggression, right? If Ghostic wants to kill someone, he needs this Shadow Blade.
Speaking of killing, Portugal just disappears there in the mid lane. LeBron on point with telekinesis every time.
They're grabbing kills, kill after kill after kill, while this Tiny can't even go on their side of the map to make stuff possible. He needs to scout out people with the Shadow Blade, and then they follow up with Ghost exporting so that they can get a kill or two. Same could be said for Witch Doctor. Maybe he could hide in these trees somewhere across the map and side lanes so that they finally make use of their global presence of Furion. Because right now they're not doing it.
Meanwhile, on the bot lane, General is looking pretty far back to go for the platform movement. Forces FN to go invis, but I'm not sure General realizes there's more people here. FN doesn't want to risk it though because you haven't got enough lockdown.
Is he worried? General, how do they kill him at this point? There's absolutely, even if they combo him with Tiny,
I mean, he's got 2k HP. It's not an easy ask. And you know what would be an easier ask? It looks like Navi are waiting around the roast bit. I think they're just looking for gangster. I don't think they can do roast.
But it's unnecessary to force it this way. They do have Solar and armor on Doom, so I mean, Helm Dominator plus Solar, he has so much armor.
They can go on a general here. They might. The Wrath of Nature just hitting now. They come in and meanwhile Ghosty shows up. The silence is there. He's going to be TP. Long enough. He does pop out in the open. Then he's going to go for TP out, but there's the Avalanche through the line. Changing into Tiny, becoming FN's worst nightmare. On the other side though, Yoku's going to TP out because Denny's forced back by the Maledict Death Ward. Miposhka probably going to have to give his life for this though. Crystallize looking to move forward. 5 seconds to the wave for. And he's got plenty of time left to play Tiny. Should be a TP out, but goes to Avalanche misses. There's the movement forward. Miposhka's creating a lot of space with this.
They all created so much space with this.
It's just, oh my god, he's not going to get out here.
They don't have a link. Look, they could not kill that panda, as I said before, until that orchid happened. And as soon as that orchid happened, they go and they take him down. More importantly, they take him next to his tier 2. So all this aggression is basically making space for your Terrorblade, because everyone ported bottom to help General, everyone ported bottom, and what did they get? Only one Tiny. Well, the Terrorblade is farming jungle and pushing out top.
He's catching up. He's up to 10,000 net worth, lurking a little bit behind Dendy, but not much. Only 600 gold difference between them.
So basically,
yep, jump straight in. They get control of the middle. There's a sprout coming out. He's going to cut the trees and try and run away. There might be enough damage there and he's dead.
There you go. Like, the only thing they needed is this orchid, and I wanted to say that the game might switch in their favor a bit right now.
Not really noticing this. They're going straight to the Roche pit.
They don't have the solar crest of Lilith though. They do have double damage on Crystallize.
Yeah, he's hitting for a casual 400 now. It's not biggie.
And this tanks Roche completely.
Look at him, he's a hero, the Ogre Frostmate with all that extra armor. He doesn't need to be the frontliner. He's got these beautiful creeps that are way too tanky.
What's really interesting is how Doom went for Wild Wing, right? So he has Toughness Aura that gives you 3 bonus armor, and then even more armor from the Ice armor, and then the Solar Crest. And look at this, Miposhka hiding in the sidelines, just what I was talking about before. This is how we play position 5s with Furions. You need one of these heroes that's gonna just wait for someone on the sidelines so that Furion can port in and work at them, and on the other lane maybe you have the timing shadow blading in. Or this Pengo even with the ultimate now with
and that's Crystallizer's biggest nightmare, right? Because it's the case of the Maledict is you try and morph into strength, you're just going to take more damage with each tick.
Yeah, it's really strong versus him, however he does have that Lincoln Sphere, so it's kind of hard for Furion right now to pop it, and it's not even easy for Miposhka, right? Because you're going to react to Cask.
Exactly, you got enough time to wait for him away. And
it's not an easy kill anymore for them. Crystallize is...
It's going to get worse, though, because Crystallize is very close to that shotgun.
Yep.
You know, once he has the E-Blade, I'm not really sure you want to be aggressive onto him. You want to be reacting in a favorable scenario.
Definitely. Furion is so squishy when it comes to the shotgun of Morphling. Pretty much the same thing.
I like Navi's position, though. They're quite stacked here. They'll lead him with Lil.
But the BKB from Naive, though. I thought I misheard something, then I move and I see the BKB.
Yeah. I thought I'd give him the benefit of the doubt and we wouldn't embarrass him, but he's not having the worst game. It's not the end of the world. I'm pretty sure Navi didn't see it either.
They did a bit. They started going. I think Doom saw it, but
I caught a glimpse because of daytime vision.
However,
you are my fog man, remember?
It's your fog, man. However, the 10 seconds BKB on TB versus a morph with a shotgun, you really don't want to waste it this way. It's so much. It means so much to you.
Especially with the amount of HP you actually have on Terrorblade. It's not a strength hero that's going to go super tanky by the time the shotgun's happening.
Like he's even opting for Sanj and Yasha, Sasha, Yasha, you know.
Yo, Sasha, Yasha.
Sasha, Yasha. Sasha or Yasha?
This is my gun, Sasha. This is Yasha. I do not know what he said. Yeah. Sister.
Alrighty, guys.
Well.
Alrighty, Sasha and Yasha.
Speaking of BKBs, by the way, it looks like Lil's going to be going for one next on that Doom. No mobility item, surprisingly enough. This is a bit odd, actually, right? Like, you usually pick up a Shadow Blade or a Blink.
What need have I to visit?
You don't have to. It's good. No doubt about it. It's good, but you don't have to. You can opt to just run into people's faces in some games. And I guess he decided that this is one of those cases. I mean, he jumped around terribly.
Dire's middle tower.
Ron just saw Yoku. Yoku thinks he's got the advantage invis here, but he wants to be careful. If he walks just here, he's a goner.
He senses it, the way he's moving at least.
Yeah, I mean, it was a little bit confident. Like, the LeBron was just standing there and then suddenly started walking back in a very odd way.
You notice these things. Are they going to notice the smoke?
I don't think they are. Because comes out onto him, they see him, they've got control, and they'll get the kill.
I don't think they really needed the Doom there, but
it makes it quicker, it makes sure there's no time wasted because Crystallize is pushing top while Nature's Prophet and his team
that's pushing ball. And every second that was easy.
Exactly. Crystallize can get this happen. The shotgun comes out and that is a dead Yoku.
Are you certain you want to go with Yoku?
He's dead for 50 seconds. You see this so often with Tango at the moment, a little bit over. Now the split coming out quite aggressively from General. He's going to zone out with Posh, keep control and make sure no one can interrupt this tower push. The cast will bounce, but it will not do anything to slow down the push. Meanwhile on your base, yes, that's right. It's a Nature's Prophet and a Terrorblade on your high ground. LeBron can't do much against it. The creep army, the giant. And there's Yoku. This buyback, it might pay off because it's disrupting any sort of retreat for the side of Navi and Empire. They actually trade better. Now they're going to come back. They're going to find Killer's General as well because he hangs around a little bit too long.
I mean, admirable indeed. They did this really well.
The trees are going to finish off rats.
They already got the melee one, right? So the range one is not as important, but yeah. And honestly, very well played from them that they didn't go back and respond to the push because they couldn't. Actually, the Aegis, it's still up for Morphling, so
gotta be careful with that. But also, like, you gotta give props to Yoku there. I mean, a lot of time we see these buybacks in the possible in those scenarios, and they just stand there. But he uses his ultimate fantastically to interrupt any sort of retreat.
Yeah, we're gonna give him props for buying back and disrupting the ports. We're not gonna give him props for dying there. We see
it was unnecessary.
We see Pengos do this way too often.
It's really odd because as a pos 4, you kind of respect that this hero could be good. But the thing is, you're using your swashbuckle to farm when you need it for an escape.
Yeah,
especially the way they farm, which is very aggressive.
The turn rate on the hero is very weird, and sometimes you have a feeling that you can just swashbuckle in and blink out, but it just doesn't happen. So,
well, it's also like because the swashbuckle is a travel time, you can't actually blink until the swashbuckle finishes.
Great point. And yeah, I mean he definitely noticed the shotgun. It's been up for a while, so he had to know that.
He's just feeling brave. He's like, you know what, I'm an agi hero. I must be very tanky. And you look down and see you've got 1300 HP. And not feeling so tanky anymore.
It's gonna help him a bit versus the morph. Not the whole ton. I think they need a glimmer on Poshka as soon as possible. It's gonna help him a lot in this game.
Well, he went for the Spirit Vessel first, which I don't wholly disagree with here. You're up against a Morphling, you need it.
Of course, Vessel is just a great item overall on Witch Doctor. I think every time I saw Miposhka play Witch Doctor, he went for Vessel, and the item is just ridiculously good. With the Maledict, with the Paralyzing Cask and the ultimate, you can take down anyone that does not have a BKB or magic immunity.
It's kind of actually curious that beside Navi haven't completed Spirit Vessel yet. LeBron is seeming a lot aura than Poshka, but in reality it's only 600 gold difference between the two.
Yeah, they emphasize a lot more on Lil's farm and as BKB or the Solar Creator. He has 3 big items already.
Is this a core do? Maybe.
Yeah, too much. Lil position 4 usually transitions into war. It's a very greedy player, right? A very greedy position 4 mostly.
But he makes it work.
Definitely. I'm not saying it in a bad way.
Dendi, he's about to be in a lot of trouble here. They're rotating around him. He thought he was the one making the jump. They jumped on him with Avalanche. He was going to make sure he had no escape. He's the one that skewers the kill. Yoku did use his ultimate, and the Metamorphosis has been popped, which means they need to get a tier 2 to get value. But in their bot lane, Crystallize is about to find more value in return.
Yeah, they have to deal with this Crystallize first, and then they push the bot, then they push top. But if they do it like this, if it's FN that's defending,
I don't think it's going to be enough. There is Avalanche coming in the top, and Scriptus goes out. They might get him this time out. Just try and create some space, but there it is. The Avalanche interruption might buy him enough time. He has got the Mantis still as well. He actually goes through, looks for a kill, finds it under Miposh, gets to stand his ground and fight, and then needs to toss him closer to his base. Crystallize doing a lot of work here, and they've actually sent Ghostic back to try and deal with this. In the meantime, the whole push has come to an end. The tier 2 did fall, but Brewmaster creates a lot of space to make sure there's no push on the high ground.
Yeah, the thing that happened there is Brew used his ulti and went on Terrorblade. Terrorblade even had to port out because of the amount of damage that Brew was doing.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
He had to BKB and port out, which is kind of bad for him because his BKB is going shorter and shorter, so coming shorter and shorter. It's not good.
And on top of that, this is screaming huge issues for the side of Empire because we saw a lot thrown onto Crystallize there. And the worst part for them is that's when he didn't use the Manta to dodge out or get rid of the silence.
Yeah. So he didn't even use the Orchid, right? The tunnel was not important with the port.
But he had the Manta anyway, that was the problem.
I guess a Hex or Nullifier at some point is going to deal with that.
But they're going to need it.
Yeah, but I think they should probably send the Sphurion next time to defend somehow so that he can port back in.
Well, Furion's busy pushing while Navi's whole team pushes you in mid. They're on the high ground now, which went for the creep wave. Backdoor is the thing, ladies and gentlemen. The Crystallize is looking incredibly scary right now. Morphling, he's almost top net worth, and Terrorblade,
they're just going to go for Rush. That's it.
TV doesn't have Metamorphosis, and they know it.
Yeah. I mean, the Panda didn't have ult, so they couldn't really push that easy. But you know what the thing is? You see how they're pinging out bottom. The problem with this push bottom is that the Furion is going to be able to push top or even, push top because there's no 2-2.
Against Dreadfree, very good big stage. You've got to get back from this one in time. I can't imagine they let themselves get Furion in a game like this, considering that's the only thing really good luck of Empire so far. They pick up the Roche, they're going to send Crystallize straight back and drop Creep Wave. I mean, Ghosty can't actually afford to go in the base aggressively like this. He has got buyback, but...
Yeah, he could maybe BKB port out if there's no Doom around. However, he just opts not to do it, as you said.
I mean, the interesting thing is Doom still has the Hellbear. I feel like you should just be getting the Dark Troll somewhere at this point, just looking for it. Hunting around for one.
Dark Throw, you mean the ensnare guy, right?
Yeah, Dark Throw Summoner. Yeah.
He's good. I agree.
I mean, they've got the BKBs coming out. It seems the most logical choice because you can interrupt with TPs out.
These auras that he's got are good, right? With the Wolf and the attack speed aura, it's great. However, I agree with you. Troll would be great as well. Maybe he just did not find one.
Yes, it's like we were talking about Chins yesterday and their luck and how it can really decide the effect that the possible of this type.
You find a couple of rocks and you're golden. You don't, and it's much harder.
But look, it's the golden ghost. You could go get that instead. The 20% movement slow. It's actually pretty considerable.
There we go. There's a troll. Is he gonna go for it? Yeah, he goes for the troll.
Good. So he now has the ensnare, which means there will be no way of them TPing out, even with a BKB. And in the meantime, it looks like Navi are stacking up bots while the side of Empire are going to try and push in top. They're going to be much slower here.
Yeah, they can't
actually get killed. They've got these kids straight away. The shotgun. Line down half HP, needs to be careful. We just still have the Aegis, and there's Yoku going to roll in the BKB force down Lil. Same with General, they move straight forward. The dude goes straight out on the Terrorblade here. They're still trying to kill off Crystallize, but he's staying alive. Nice mana dodge to get rid of the Surf Vessel. Go back to hitting the base. He'll give himself another lane. Yeah, ghosting, but it's so much slower. They actually need him here to defend. Crystallize backing off the moment, but if you walk out after him, you're in a lot of trouble. They almost kill him, but they can't. The interruption is as caused, and General using a split, goes around in the charge. If he dies, there's a dieback. He's staying alive with the heals in the meantime on the back, but the sounds comes out. They will find the kill onto LeBron. Ghosting, BKB'd out, standing his ground. Brewmaster trying to move away quickly with his Earth Brew because the rest of his team have actually left him. Anytime is right. No, he can't. The Avalanche told him to play General as good as dead. Just going to stand with the TP and it won't work.
Great snatch there from Robic. Steals the Rolling Thunder, allows the rest of his team to fall back. Yeah, Panda died and Robic died. However, they did take the side and their side did not fall. So the Fury and the split push didn't really work that well. Yeah, he did get the tower, but overall it wasn't really great.
And I think it was kind of that issues. I don't think General got the memo. He looked like he's like, oh, actually, that looks like to ball back. Like, kill him now. I'm happy with this.
Exactly. But on the other hand, they didn't lose the Aegis, so more still has it enough as a Skadi. As a Skadi Link and Z-Blade, he's basically, this is really one of these.
Speaking of that more, Yoku farming aggressively and he'll pay the price.
What is it with the Bengals?
Oh, I don't know about that with Tiny with the Avalanche. What is it with Tiny? Just the Avalanche?
Yeah, Tiny.
That's risky.
What they want to do is just take the creep wave and just wink out. I understand it, but why do Penguins constantly keep on dying on the lanes?
They want the farm, you know. It's one of those pulse forwards that's really cool.
That's true. A greedy position for it, definitely. But you shouldn't be dying. I'm not talking about this particular Pango. Every Pango we watched, the last 2 days, right?
And usually Pango is so good for defending and he has to fight back here. In the meantime, Crystallize going to work, forces out of BKB from Navi, and now Crystallize going to be trying to move away again. This match seems impossible to kill right now. The Avalanche come through, will clip onto Demi, but it'll be fine. The Pango and LB go, and the one side can't have much of effect. They might find it because they do. Demi super low, BKB will try and run away, barely staying alive, woman dying to himself. Crystallize gonna look to expand the 5 minutes, they're starting to switch. Wolfling has to move away quick, he will stay alive. The muted items will not stop him from escaping. The waveform was saved for the defense. And now, Navi, there's no time with Denny. In the meantime, FN's gonna turn it around. Denny taking a lot of damage, trying to play, he's gonna die. The Brewmaster split is doing a lot of work though. They do end up killing off Tiny, he will fly back. FN, he needs to save them from this because the metamorphed up Terrorblade is running out of power. Now Yoku being jumped onto the tail, he's controlling out the ghosting. He's actually gonna have ghosting deeper. There's no Tiny now with him standing around. They're gonna try to kill their venom. Naeem, he's the last man standing. He's got no sunder for 5 more seconds. But by the time you have it, your entire base is going to be dead. GG gets called. Navi, they take game 1. And the network might not show it, but this was not as close as you think because the European had the time of...
Well, not the time of things like that. I'm not even to begin with, but overall they created so much space. They played protect 1 more or less.
Yeah, his recovery was great.